for today's cup of coffee with Scream.
Ah! She won't let me sing the Sandy Cheeks, Texas song.
You can sing it. I told you I would turn the camera right on and let you just croon.
Mm-hmm.
You just go right on.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Anyhow, we have from Daily Mail. It's a really cool story, and I have alluded to this tradition amongst this people quite a few times.
Mm-hmm.
And I did find a video that I'll put a link that is there on YouTube that explains a little more about it. I didn't really like the background music that they used.
Right.
I didn't, because in a way I thought it was kind of disrespectful, but that's just me. And this is I'm going to pronounce things incorrectly. I'm from southwestern Virginia. Cut me some slack. I'm mountain people.
We speak English.
We speak mountain. That's
that's
a totally different thing. And this is by
Wish I was back in Texas.
Perkin Amalaraj. And was September the 10th of 2024. We're recording this on September 10th of 2024. And mummified ancestors of a rural Indonesian tribe have been exhumed, spruced up, and put on display as part of an intricate burial ritual. Every 4 years, the Torajan people who live, I'm not even going to try that, in the center of an archipelago, dig up the graves of their ancestors to meticulously look after their bodies in a ceremony known as Manane, which translates to care of ancestors or the cleaning of the corpse. The bodies are exhumed, cleaned up, dried under the sun to ensure their longevity, and redressed in new clothing. Video footage from this a small town where the Torajan people live showed them crowding around stone graves and traditional Torajan tombs and digging their coffins out of the ground. Now, this is a community activity here.
It is.
And villagers are seen posing with their dead ancestors who had their dry, paper-like skin after spending years in the ground. We'll show you some more pictures here in just a moment.
So they're mummies.
Yeah, basically. It says one man was seen patting the head of a dead man who was so well preserved that his hair was still visible.
Huh.
Villagers were then seen putting their relatives' bodies back in their coffins with fresh, modern clothes, while many were seen wearing traditional sarongs, a long length of fabric favored across the South and Southeast Asia. Many were also seen wearing modern sunglasses and belts. The ceremony takes place in Torajan villages across the region throughout the whole month of August. And so I don't know why they waited until now to put this story out, but it says, according to Heritage Daily, the Torajan people don't see death as a singular event, but rather the soul's gradual passing to the afterlife. And as a result, they believe the bodies of recently deceased people still need to be taken care of. According to the New York Times, locals believe the ceremony began with a local man named something who lived 100 years ago, though the authenticity of this myth is considered questionable at best. Then why perpetuate that?
Yeah, why?
If they don't know. And it says that he is said to have found an abandoned corpse in the jungle, and moved by the fate of the stranger, he took the dead body and dressed it up with his clothes. And from then on, he was said to have been blessed with good luck and bountiful hunts and harvests. So that's why the perpetuation of the myth. In other cultures, ancestor, I don't know that this is necessarily ancestor worship. It's just a reverence.
Yeah, it's appreciation for it.
Sure.
It's a thank you.
And so these are some of the pictures that we have. This one is dressed in a sarong.
Which is an incredible outfit.
It is. I mean, it's incredible that there is not... In a lot of our cultures, it's taboo almost to touch a corpse. These people do not have that.
Yeah.
Because it is still seen as a family member. And, that they're taking pictures with the mummies. And that's the one where they said that it still had the hair.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just an incredible thing. I don't know exactly. I would be interested in finding out the preservation techniques that they are using.
Yeah.
To keep the bodies so intact.
Mm-hmm.
And this picture was so precious. And this is a woman that is holding the mummified remains of a baby that was her baby that had passed in 1988. Now, the look on her face is not one of remorse or guilt or grieving. It is that of a loving mother.
Mm-hmm. It is.
And I'd like to
my
challenge cultural norms. And that's what's fascinating about different cultures, how they do things.
Just in general, Western culture is weird.
In a lot of ways, it is. As far as the funerary practices and different things like that. And I think a lot could be learned from these people. Because, and the video that I had watched prior to recording this, they leave the corpse in the home for a minimum of 30 days, and they don't refer to the individual as dead. They refer to them as sick or unwell or something like that. They go in, they talk to the corpse, they offer it food and drink and cigarettes and just different things like that as if they were still alive.
Yeah.
And where some people may think that is very strange, and that was the reason I did not like the fact that they put spoopy Halloween music when they were discussing this.
Yeah, I mean, that is disrespectful right there.
I felt like it was. Because these people, this is a celebration of life and family.
Yeah.
It's not a celebration of death.
Now, comparing it to, like, let's say Dia de los Muertos.
Right.
Which is a whole fucking festival.
Ceremony. Yeah.
It's a festival.
Yeah.
Having high regards of their ancestors.
Absolutely. And I think that is something that is so honorable. I mean, what are we doing with people here in Western culture? Once they get to looking a certain way, or if they can't, we're doing with old people. We're putting them in places out of sight, out of mind now while they're still breathing.
Yeah.
And then to, put them in a box, it's like, they just gone.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Really? Is that what we're supposed to be doing?
I don't think so. I really don't think that's what we're supposed to be doing.
And I do understand there was a lot of...
It just seems inhumane in a lot of ways.
It seems disrespectful in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's the reason I would be interested in learning the preservation methods that the people use here. Because one of the reasons for burial is the decay process and, the potential of pathogens and bodily fluids and different things like that. As bodies break down, people are going, my God, I don't want to think of this while I'm drinking my coffee. Well, this is just how we roll.
No.
And, but they obviously deal with this in a way that does not, and it could be the climate. I'm sure that they have a much hotter climate. They were talking about laying the bodies out in the sun, letting them dry more.
Yeah.
And in different geographical locations, that's not possible.
No. So it must be a place that's really, really hot or something like that.
Yeah. Well, Indonesia, yeah. So, but it's interesting. And what would happen to our culture? Would it breathe new life into it if we stopped doing what we were doing on some of these things? If we shut down the damn media that tells us, oh, you're no longer young and beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Bullshit. What does it matter? There is beauty at every age.
Yes.
And this this false sense of what beauty is supposed to be that has been perpetuated forever. Mm-hmm. Can we get rid of that? Can we go back to being families that take care of their people instead of putting them someplace to let strangers take care of them?
Mm-hmm.
That's from the youngest ones to the oldest ones.
Mm-hmm.
Can we go back to being neighbors and communities and taking care of each other?
Literally, it needs to come back. That needs to come back.
Yeah. So, God bless these people and their customs. I think it's fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there is so much that we can learn from them. Even as far as the 30 days with the body there in the house. What are they doing with us? I mean, 3 days. Somebody passes, you're supposed to have 3 days and just then go back to the grind.
Yeah.
That is not how that works.
30 days, that's a good time. Sometimes it takes a little bit more than that, but...
Oh, yeah. But to sit there and to have the belief system that they're not really gone.
Mm-hmm.
And in the video, it had, where they had made these wooden effigies.
Yeah.
And that was way cool. And that they believe
cool.
that the spirits of the ancestors continue to look over, to look out for the living.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I think
just
it's
that
really cool.
Transcendence.
Yeah. And those effigies are cool, are like really well done.
Oh yeah, they're life size. They're awesome.
Yeah. At first I thought they were going to be like these little tiny...
No, they were full size. They had a cave, and that was where the ancestors stayed. But every 4 years, to dig up the remains, to dress them, to honor them, to take pictures of them. And it's like, could we challenge ourselves and our belief systems and our customs and go, we have things that we can learn from other people.
Yeah.
So.
But I think, doesn't part of that... Well, I'll talk about this later.
Okay.
So.
But I thought it was a really cool story. Of course, I have different views on things than other people, and it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, Kid, final thoughts on this practice?
While I personally would not participate in something like that, I can appreciate them doing that.
Mm-hmm. But if you had been raised from the time you
that
were
would
a
be
small
different.
child, that's just how they do.
Yeah. I mean, that would be different,
I think it's amazing. And I think that when you have cultural practices like this that are still maintained, that's valuable.
Yeah.
When
we need traditions.
Absolutely. The world is trying to get rid of all that stuff. Don't you let them. Mm-mm. And these are... this is not hurting anyone.
No.
Now there are some traditions and practices that, they need to go away.
Oh, yeah.
If they hurting individuals and different things like that. I think the tradition of putting old people in homes and letting somebody else deal with them just because they're old, I think that needs to go away.
Yeah.
Now, yes, there is a time and a place that if someone's health has deteriorated to the point that the family can no longer deal with the situation, yes. And we can say this having lived it.
Yeah. Yeah, very much. Would not go through it again. No.
But this, again, within these communities, I'm sure that if they take this level of care for those who have gone on, it would make you believe that they care for each other while they're living.
It would. It would make you believe that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think it's amazing. I really think. And the fact that they were allowing the rest of the world to see and share in their tradition and their culture, that's wonderful also.
Mm-hmm.
And to appreciate. It used to be that we could appreciate different cultures.
Yeah, it used to be a lot of ways, and now it has all just sort of went to shit.
Well, that's because you've got some of these young people that are stupid.
at a certain point, natural selection is going to take its course again, and
I
the
think it's
pendulum
gonna
is
be
going to
harsh.
start swinging
Yeah.
back to...
Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
Woo. So, if you've had experiences with the paranormal or supernatural, encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, tinfoil hats, if you're from a different country and would like to share some of your customs and cultures that are unusual, please put that in the comment section.
Yeah.
That, or you can always send us an email that is cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll celebrate with you.
Yeah.
We'd love to learn new things.
We do.
Differences can be fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. God love 'em.
Speaking of experiencing new things, I found a show, and I have no idea if you've heard of it, but I want you to check it out at some point.
Okay. Does it have anything to do with these people's culture?
I didn't say what it had to deal with.
Okay.
Just saying.
All right.
Learning new things.
Okay. I'm all for learning new things. Moon and Gemini. Do your spiel.
Comment, like, share if you like this video. Check her out on BitChute, Rumble, YouTube, Warlanda's Cup of Coffee with Scream. Also check her out on X, previously known as Twitter, Warlanda, COCWS. Thank you all for joining us. Have a good.
Yeah. Know that you are loved. Treat other people the way that you would like to be treated. And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Bye.